What? What do you mean he didn't make it? What aren't you telling me? Why? Why didn't you protect him? I told you to keep Tal safe. I trusted you. That's it? That's your answer? He died because we needed him to? I really wanted to be like you. I looked up to you. But if this is what it means to be a hero, you can count me out. Orders? You're giving me orders? Fine. Tell me what you learned so I can get out of here. I want to make sure nobody else has to die today. The Vashrak are strong enough to do all that? It's even worse than we feared. You tell the king about the moot. We'll go warn Basrag and Solgra. After that, I'm leaving. I don't want to be in a place where the only person I can depend on is me.
Malakath's fury isn't for the likes of you, Tuskless One? Then listen well and hear of the fury of Malakath. His anger. Even the unworthy want to bend before the mighty Malakath. Malakath is the god of curses and the betrayed, the protector of the orcs and the provider of the code. For every broken promise, he gives us battle. For every grudge, he gives us blood. You do understand the fury and the anguish. May Malakath's ferocious spirit fill you, making you fearsome and terrifying to friends and foes alike.
won't end the Order. Vigilance eternal!
You can't lock us out of our inn. That's tyrannical.
You should have thought about that before you helped
Damn
the enemies
soldiers
of
and
our
their
king.
damn rules and
Now
regulations.
get out of my way before I toss you in a cell too.
How infuriating! I don't even like the place that much, but I'll be damned if I let them toss me out of my own inn. The closer the city gets to completion, the worse things get for us common folk. Orsimer soldiers barged into our inn and kicked us out. Now they won't let anyone back in. They decided to detain some of our patrons, including your friends. In fact, the little wood elf showed up right before the soldiers did. The soldiers placed guards at all the exits, even the back one. Damned if I know how they found out about that. The soldiers won't let anyone in until they finish the king's work, whatever that is. Bunch of stiff boots, the lot of them. I should have known that hiding folks in our inn would eventually bite us in the arse. This is ridiculous, though. They sent an entire squad of soldiers to lock down one inn. You'd think we were the damn Winterborn or something. Haven't you and your friends caused us enough trouble already? All right. If you get me my inn back, I'll try to forget that any of this ever happened. So, how can I help? Never seen her before. I make it a habit to get to know all of the guards and soldiers who come to the inn to unwind. From the look on her face, she hasn't unwound since the king was a cub tied to the Forge Mother's apron. What? You looking to court her or something? If you're so enthralled by Captain What's-Her-Name, I heard her tell a soldier she'd be by the ramparts near the stables. But she's a cold fish, mark my words. You'd do better fishing in a different pond. That was the first thing they confiscated. It was Sergeant Vulmon. I know him, he's one of our regulars. Usually friendly, leaves an extra gold piece now and again. He's stationed near the King's Corner Club, but he won't give up that key. That's between you and him. I'll have no part in that. I'm no criminal despite how all this looks.
Finest merchandise around.
If I can raise a little gold, I'm on the next caravan out. To oblivion with this place.
Did I lose it? Is it stolen? I just don't know.
head down!
This is the best Kurog has to send against us? Pitiful. Thanks to the timely arrival of the Wood Elf, we were ready for those Voshrock bastards. You should have seen their expressions when we started cutting them down to size. It was glorious. So, are there more of these tuskless? As you can see, we've been rather busy ourselves. So I haven't had the chance to get the entire story out of Everlee. Tell me, what else did you learn at Paragon's Remembrance? By the sacred tusk, the Forge Mother? The Voshrock answer to Alga? That's... well, come to think of it, that makes a certain amount of sense. The cowards blame the High Priestess and then get to smell like sunshine on a cloudy day. Solgra doesn't have a bounty on her head. At least not yet. She went back to the temple. Business as usual and all that. What a mess Kurog has made. He thinks we're the traitors. But his mother is running a cult right under his nose. As much as it calls me to help him, Kurog needs to be warned. He's in as much danger as the clan chiefs, especially if Alga plans to usurp her son. You go talk to Kurog. I'll send Everlee to protect Solgra.
You go warn the king. Don't worry, I'll keep the High Priestess safe. You can count on me. I guess you could say that. I got here before the soldiers arrived, if that's what you mean. Had just enough time to warn the chief, and then all of Oblivion broke loose. But we handled it. We handled it real good.
I know you brought me something good today, yes?
stolen goods are well hidden. Where are they again? No? Just asking.
My hunters brought in an entire herd this morning.
We should have enough for the feast then, depending on how hungry the king is.
Your hunt daughter.
Look who it
She
is!
told my
You made all this possible, my friend. You brought all the chiefs together. I needed to step away and have a moment to myself. All this excitement. But I promise you, this will be a moot the Orsimer won't soon forget. That sounds serious. But this is a time for celebration. The next age of the Orsimer people begins today. Really? In danger, you say? And you came upon this knowledge how? If you're frightened by a few idle rumors in the streets, I mean... Keep your voice down. Do you know how easy it is to panic a clan chief? We just got them here, so let's not scare them away needlessly. Meet me down in the dining hall, and we can continue this discussion in private.
I hear the footsteps of an outsider. Come, we need to talk. I am so disappointed in you. I thought when you killed your friend, you did so for Trinimac and our cause. But it seems that it was just a means to an end for you. It's good that I see you for what you truly are before I let this go much further. I assumed as much. That's why I decided to appear in this manner. That way we can talk freely without one of us deciding to be gauche and draw a weapon or otherwise behave badly. The time for endless talk and debate is over. These cowards who call themselves chiefs will soon be removed, and no one will remain to say no to my son. It's for the best. Oh, and I haven't forgotten Bosrog. We'll get him too in the end. Oh, but we already have, don't you see? The clan chiefs have gathered and the moot is about to start. Soon the news will spread that Solgra is behind the Vosh Rock. Everything is in order. Let it be known, the outsider who stands before us has betrayed our grace. For your actions, I condemn you and your allies to death. A sentence you shall execute by your own hand. May Trinimac guide your blade.
I'm sorry it had to come to this. What I do for the good of the Orsimer people.
It's about time you woke up. Took you long enough. What in Malakath's name did they do to you? You had more holes in you than a block of Achate cheese after a skeever attack. I tended to your wounds as best I could, but I'm kind of surprised you woke up at all. Not sure. I slipped inside before Kurog locked down the keep, found you lying on the floor and dragged you back here before all the Voshrock showed up. I thought they were Orsimer soldiers at first, but those are definitely the cultists up there. They're headed for the moot. It's going to start soon. Kurog and the chiefs don't realize what they're walking into. It's going to be a bloodbath. I knew it. The tuskless bastard. He plans to kill the chiefs and unite the clans over the corpses of our people. Despicable. They're holding the moot in the mountains overlooking the city. You go ahead. Just watch yourself. Those Voshrock maniacs aren't going to stand aside and let you march in there. I'll go gather some other allies in the city. If you run into problems, meet me outside the keep and we'll figure something else out. Before Kurog started all this, I honestly never gave it a lot of thought. It certainly goes against all our most cherished traditions. I have to admit, there are advantages to a united Orc nation, but not this way. Not this way. Who can say? I want to believe that Kurog started out with the best intentions. He thought the death of Iceheart would unite us under his banner. But the clan chiefs, they're a stubborn lot. I assume that he and Olga had it in mind, just in case. I can't help wonder if this is my fault, though. I should have talked to Kurog, listened to what he had to say. Instead, I turned away. I refused to hear him out, and now look where we are. I have a reputation. Most of the chiefs and their clans respect me. That makes me a threat to Kurog's plans. By discrediting me, Olga and her son give the people someone to hate. Then they can remove me from the field of battle without consequence. People believe whatever is right in front of them. By throwing me in my own prison and making sure no one could talk to me, Kurog could direct the story to his own purposes. The fanatics shouted my name, and that's all the people heard. Some of Kurog's ideas have merit, I'll give him that. But the cost he's willing to bear to see his plans through to fruition. Murder. A city built on fresh graves, and the madness doesn't end there. No, it doesn't. The United Nation at his beck and call. Kurog assembles an army, and then he points that army at our supposed enemies. Suddenly it's the awesomer against the world, for good or ill. You've seen our so-called king in action. You know him as well as anyone. Perhaps better. What do you think? His pride will eventually be his downfall, and the downfall of his newly formed Orc nation.
Set it ablaze!
Burn it!
Kill you for that. My beloved says the loot is off limits. I'm sorry it's come to this. There's no choice.
feeling I'd find you here. Kurog sealed the route to the moot, didn't he? Damn it. Most of my contacts have gone deep into hiding, and we're no closer to saving the chiefs than we were when I scraped you up off the floor of the keep. Let me see that. You can get to the moot through the temple. I had no idea that path existed, but they sent soldiers. I hope Everlee can handle things until we get there. You go ahead and check on the Wood Elf. I'll meet you there. I have one more place where I can look for some help. If I'm successful, it might make the path to the moot slightly less complicated. I'm well aware of that. I'm counting on the start of the moot to keep them distracted, but I won't take any unnecessary chances. Besides, I was supposed to be dead by now. You've done more for me and my people than I could have ever expected. Thank you. Now get to the temple and make sure Everlee and the High Priestess are all right. The temple, besieged by weapon-wielding fanatics twice in the same season. It's insane. Kurog is... I know you will. I've seen you in action. I have a feeling that the fate of Hrothgar depends on what we do next. Our actions, whether we succeed or fail, will determine the future of Orsinium and the Orc people. How could it not? The temple, the moot. Those are the fires that will test our mettle. We'll either come out stronger or be consumed in the flames. Now go help Solgra.
Down, my brothers and sisters. We're in no condition to chase after anyone. If the King's soldiers want to talk to Solgra, it must be for a good reason. We need to stay out of their way. This isn't a good time to visit the temple. We have a bit of a situation. I humbly suggest that you come back later. If this is about that incident with the fanatics, you should take it up with the king. In these difficult times, misunderstandings can quickly spiral out of control and lead to situations we'd all rather avoid. But, no, if you insist. When the king's soldiers banged on the doors, Solgra and the Wood Elf ran upstairs and outside. The soldiers knocked us aside and chased after them. I'm not sure what... She told the Wood Elf to keep up, and then they were both running like soldiers were chasing them. Usually Solgra is so proper. If the soldiers hadn't had their weapons drawn, I'm sure she would have gone with them quietly.
There she is! Don't let the traitor get away!
Tell the king, I'll play no part in these political games. I'm warning you, Back off, or you'll feel the sting of my arrows.
What in Trinimac's name is going on? Why did Kurog send soldiers after us? They acted like we'd done something horrible. I didn't want to worry Everlee, but I was frightened for our lives. I'm just glad you arrived when you did. Voshrak? I don't understand. But no, they didn't hurt me. Not for lack of trying, though. So tell me, what kind of trouble are we in now? What a ridiculous notion. Trinimac stands for unity and civilization, not anarchy and violence like those Voshrak fanatics claim. Dare I ask? Everlee never got to tell me what was going on before the soldiers barged in. Who's behind all this? We can't allow that to happen. But what are you doing here, helping us? The clan chiefs are more important. You should be at the moot, doing whatever you can to foil the king's despicable plan. There's a path to the moot through the temple. The old tunnels, of course. That must be what you're talking about. Here, take this key. It opens the temple library. If there really are old tunnels, the way to access them is probably in there.
There she is! My arrow will find its mark!
More soldiers! Stay back, High Priestess!
Everlee, no! Find whoever did this. I'll get her back to the temple. Go!
Damn it! The interfering wood elf got in the way! Fall back! Stop them! Don't let the traitors get past you! Surrender! I surrender! You killed some of our best soldiers. I know when I'm outmatched. I have my orders. Don't you know that High Priestess Solbra is a criminal, an enemy of the Orsimer? She's the leader of the Voshrak. You should thank me for what I've done. How would I know such a thing? I'm just a simple soldier. I'm not a cultist in disguise. And even if I were, you can't prove a thing. Do with me as you will, outsider. I serve a higher cause. Trinimac will reward my...
Everlee's one tough wood elf. She's clinging to life and won't let go. She asked to speak to you when you have a moment.
that you? Oh yeah, that's you. I'd recognize those footfalls anywhere. Solgra. Solgra says the arrow just missed my heart. Never knew an orc who could shoot worth a damn anyway. Well, except for those catapulteers back at Frostbreak. They were pretty amazing. So, be honest with me. Am I going to be alright? That's what I like about you. Always seeing the bright side of every issue. I'll try not to let you down. But the clan chiefs... You're going to go after Kulrog, aren't you? I used to think he was a good ruler. Strong, honorable. But he's a menace. He's let himself become more important than his ideas. So go and do what you do so well. I'll wait right here, recovering. I want to be ready for the next adventure.
Trinamax's blessed child, Avalion, charged the mountain, driving his blade into the heart of the beast.
Sent her here by herself.
Evely saved me. I plan to return the favor.
Kurog won't get away with this little one. We'll stop him.
Kick him in his tusks. For me.
Rest now, Evely. You need your sleep.
I need to speak to you for a moment. This way. Are you as mad about what happened as I am? We need to use that outrage to bring Kurog down. If we can get to the moot, he's going to throw everything he has at us to slow us down. I've heard about the tunnels under the city. Kurog left the ancient pathways in place and just built the new structures on top. I suppose if the passage is clear, we can reach the moot using that route. Then let's go investigate the library. We'll turn over every floorboard and bookcase until we find something. This isn't going to be like drinking mead with the Nords. We're talking about defying the king. At best, we'll be branded as Kingslayers. At worst, we'll be dead. This isn't your fight, not really. Then we take the fight to Kurog and Alga. If they refuse to yield, then we fight on until either they or us can fight no more. Kurog's reign ends today. So swears Bazrog of Clan Faron. So swears Bazrog of the Awesomer.
Is that you?
Look at this mess. We'll never find anything in here. Look around and see if you can find something that looks like a hidden passage. You'd think that temple priests would be neater. These manuscripts are all over the place. Look everywhere. It'll probably be something odd or out of place, like those switches over there. But this is a library. Maybe one of... I'll be a puny dark elf. You found it. I guess we're climbing down that hole.
Silence, chiefs! Your constant bickering has plagued our people for long enough.
Huron's belittling the chiefs. They won't stand for that.
You isolate yourselves in your own strongholds, perpetuating our selfish nature. We must change who and what we are. I tried to appeal to you as equals, but you refused to listen. I grow tired of arguing with you.
The king cares for our people, and all you do is break his heart.
Wonderful. The murderous king and his lunatic... This will be interesting. Be on your guard. Getting close. Be ready for anything.
Make way for the Paragon's return!
Choice is simple. Kneel before me as your king and ruler of the United Orsaman Nation, or die!
We need to move faster. Kurog's about to start slaughtering the chiefs. Once we get inside, find Kurog and take him down. We need to save as many chiefs as we can. There's still time if we move fast. We need to open this gate. Stand aside and let me work. Get ready to get those people out of there.
You leave me no choice. I'll unite the clans over your dead bodies! Archers, eliminate the clan chiefs!
We've been betrayed. Defend yourselves!
And now the last guest has arrived. I'm gonna make you pay for your disloyalty.
Clan chiefs, over here. Hurry! This gate is heavier than it looks.
As impressive as always, but it doesn't matter. My soldiers are already moving to block the tunnels. But even impressive criminals must pay for their crimes. I'm gonna deal with you personally. Bow before the king of the Orphan! Your death will be quick if you stand still! I demand a blood price for my mother's death, outsider! The death of my mother will never be forgotten! Mother, grant me your power. May the fires of your forge engulf the traitors. I would rather burn down this mountain than let my enemies see victory.
Valiantly, bravely. You fought valiantly, bravely. Maybe the best display of martial skill I've ever seen. I just wish we weren't forced to become Kingslayers. Kurog and his mother are dead, but look at the price he made us pay. The murdered chiefs, but they're just the tip of Malakath's tusk. More orcs will die as they fight to take control of their clans, all the while ignoring the approach of winter and the coming starvation. I've seen enough death for 2 lifetimes. No. Kurog went from good intentions to madness faster than a hawker swallows a bucket of fish. Killing him was the right thing to do. In the end, how could it not? Once Kurog was like a brother to me. He was a great orc, a visionary, before his mother corrupted him. But I've become as gloomy as a drunken dark elf on a rainy day. Must be because Kurog won, despite everything we did. Please, enough talk. I want to be alone for a while. Think about what happened here and what has to happen next. Meet me back at the keep. We'll continue this discussion then, and you'll get the explanation you desire. May your path to the Ashen Forge be lit with the braziers of courage, my one-time played brother.
Buying and selling.
You're just in time. We've finished clearing out the Vashrock, and the remaining chiefs are waiting for me to address them.
We should have enough for the feast then.
But word of Kurog's death is spreading through the city like wildfire.
Your hunt daughter. She told
I
my
don't know how
cousin
the
she could
people
marry
will
whoever
react
she
to the
wanted.
news.
Tradition be damned.
Not completely. I'm sure there are still pockets of deluded cultists hiding throughout the countryside. We'll deal with them eventually. Right now, I need to figure out what to do with the clans that lost their chiefs, and with this damnable city. Kurog dreamed of a united Orcimer nation, of all Orc clans standing shoulder to shoulder as equals with the other races. Despite everything that happened, I think he's going to get his wish. It will all become clear in time. Right now, I need to talk to the chiefs. Figure out how we're going to stabilize the clans without the need for more death and destruction. If you're up to it, I have one more favor to ask of you. You came to Hrothgar to help Kurog unite our people and rebuild this great city. Despite how we got here, you accomplished everything the king asked of you. Now I have a request. If you're willing to provide one more service to the orcs. This last favor is of a more personal nature. I want to give Kurog a proper funeral, to honor him for the warrior and leader he was, and not the crazed despot he turned out to be. I do. Kurog was my friend once, and he was a great orc before his ambition got the better of him. Besides, the people need to know the whole truth, the good as well as the bad. A traditional orc requiem is just what we need to get past this. Take these notes and deliver them. Everyone should be somewhere in the city. Make them listen to you. Get them to attend Kurog's funeral. Meanwhile, I'll make sure everything is prepared for the ceremony. On your way back, after you've delivered the letters, stop by the King's Corner Club. Speak to the barkeep, and get a bottle of Kurog's favorite ale. It's foul stuff, but he loved it. We'll use it to drink to his memory at the service. Mostly to people you know. People who helped us stop Kurog and the Vashrak. There are also a few friends of mine. We trained together not long ago, but they recently returned to Hrothgar. I want them to see what happened here. There's Bizra, who rarely removes her war paint. She'll tell you to tusk off, but give her the letter anyway. The other one, he's a unique character. Has a code of honor all his own. If Bizra is here, he won't be far from her side. Happy? What an odd question. To tell you the truth, I never thought I'd live to see the city rise again. But I've been wrong before. You're a good example of that. If you're asking if I'm proud of what Kurog created, then yes, I guess I am. The thought has crossed my mind. At least under Kurog as part of the Daggerfall Covenant, we were considered strong. We had allies. That's something I need to think about. I used to dismiss Kurog and his deals with our enemies. Now I'm not so sure. Emmerich's agreement was with Kurog, not the clan chiefs. We need to discuss our options and make a decision. Hopefully before the next siege camp sets up outside our walls. The chiefs and I discussed this. We think it's better to remember Kurog for who he was rather than vilify him as a tyrant. We honor the orc I knew as a friend, not the one I fought with as a rival and an enemy. We fought side by side long ago. When he left Hrothgar to become a mercenary, I went with him. It was a glorious time. But I had responsibilities to return to. When next I saw my friend, he was making his own challenge to become chief of his clan. Kurog struck a deal with High King Emmerich, agreed to support the Breton ruler in Rancer's war in exchange for the return of Hrothgar. That's when he declared himself king. Some of us were furious with him, but his actions saved countless lives.
Tusk off. I've got no time for beggars or dishonest traders, and I'm in the mood to throw someone into the river. So walk away. Oh, really? I was certain the old bastard had forgotten his battle companions. In our day, we cut a bloody path across Elsewhere and High Rock. But why'd Buck? A letter? For me? My companion should be along at any moment. Wait until he finds out Bosrog is a chief now. A chief with his own private messenger. He'll plop a brick.
Well, I'll be a harpy's uncle.
I never expected to see you here. Are you a sight for sore eyes? What brings you to the arse end of Malakath's wasteland? No, you don't have to answer that. I can guess why you're here. This is just the kind of place that attracts people like you. Well, I don't know Chief Bosrog. But Bosrog the Butcher? Him and me go way back. We were all part of Gaspar's Stalkers, the best mercenary company to ever fight its way. Let me see that. Interesting. So Bosrog wants to give Kurog a traditional Orsimer requiem, does he? I heard that the king was dead. I guess this confirms it. But I'll be I suppose the job of King Slayer pays well. You could have sent word. Me and my crew haven't exactly been turning away offers with a stick, you know. You couldn't take a moment to send a message to old friends? Yeah, well, maybe Bosrog can set us up with work after the funeral. I'll have to ask him about that. I hope they're going to have food at this thing.
I'm glad to see that life still courses through your body. I'd be extremely out of sorts if you turned up dead.
I welcome more complan to us.
You have my thanks.
Their
for
work
keeping
is
Chief
without
Bosrog
compare.
safe.
Some
I'd be
will
even
say
more upset
otherwise.
if my husband had
But
died.
they are wrong.
Not everyone has the luxury to run off on an adventure whenever the mood takes them. I had the foreign survivors to deal with. They had to be gathered up and given shelter after the attack on our stronghold. A letter? How intriguing. What does it say? My husband plans to hold a funeral for Kurog? I suppose that makes sense. They were good friends once, before Kurog put that tight crown upon his head. I'll join Bosrog as soon as I can.
I hope you're not here to take me on another adventure. I'm done with this wretched place. With you, the king, everyone. I apologize. Talvia's death hit me harder than I realized. I know you did what was needed. Evelie told me as much. Me? Why me? Why does the chief want me to attend a funeral for the king who caused so much death and destruction? Even for orcs, this makes no sense. I'll consider it. I guess it would be a chance to spit on the king one more time before I go. Leave me for now. I'd like to finish packing Talvia's things by myself.
I don't think you should be here. I don't want any more trouble. I heard the king was dead, and I'm sure you had something to do with it, so leave us out of it. No, I don't want anything. Not from you, not from Chief Bosrog. I just want me and my father to be left alone. You just won't take no for an answer. Oh, all right, let me see that. A funeral? For the king? And the chief wants me to attend? I'd be honored. I wonder if I have time to get a nice dress.
The temple has never been more full of joy and life. Thank you for saving the High Priestess. But where are my manners? Your elf friend. She's still fighting to survive the wounds inflicted upon her. May Trinimac watch over her and make her well. I'm glad to see someone still has some faith after all this. Speaking of which, I hope they let us stay after they rededicate the temple. I've come to like this city, trouble and all. Now that King Kurog and the Forge Mother are gone, the temple is going to be rededicated to Malakath. It's a shame, but I can't blame the clan chiefs. Not after all the trouble with the Vashrock. What's this? A funeral for Kurog? I'd be honored to represent the priesthood at such a solemn event. Perhaps the chief sees a place for Trinimac in the days ahead. I hope so. No matter. The city needs to heal. I'll do what I can to help with that.
I'm glad you're here. Everly has entered a deep sleep. I don't know when or if she'll come out of it. But I'll stay at her side, no matter how long it takes. I don't know. It's out of my hands. I did everything I could, and now the rest is up to her. But I know she'll be happy that you came to visit. She looks up to you. What's this? An invitation? Barsrag's heart's in the right place, but doesn't he see the irony? This is just how this terrible situation began. No, I won't leave Everly's side. Not until this is finished. One way or another.
No, sad face. A funeral? No one tells me anything. I came to this wretched land because of Kurog. He set me up with this tavern, and I'll always be grateful to him for that. You want the ale? Let's make a deal. I'll give you a bottle of Kurog's favorite ale. I'll give you a whole damn barrel of the stuff. But only if you let me attend his funeral. Thank you. I'll have the ale delivered to the keep. And I'll see you at the funeral. It'll be one last...
Old friends, I'm glad to see you. This is very important to me.
I'm just sorry I missed all the action. It looks like you could have used another hand or two.
Bum nog and hands. I think it's an obsession.
Thank you for gathering, everyone. It's important that they're all here to see what happens next. We proceed with the funeral. The ceremony is as much about Kurog and the others as it is about the future of the city, of the Orsimer people. Everyone will want to be here for this. Don't worry. I'm not planning anything as audacious as Kurog. Everyone in the city has a choice to make, but it will be peaceful. Nothing will be forced upon them. No more harm will come to the Orsimer. You have my word on that. We need to stop dwelling on things we can't control. We need to move forward. Now please, we should begin the ceremony. There will be things I ask you to do during the Requiem. Listen to what I say, and act accordingly. I believe we're ready to begin.
Hope you weren't planning to start without me, Chief.
Everlee, it's good to see you here. Everyone, in fact. Thank you all for coming. Kurog's intentions were good, but his actions were not. Let's set aside the actions and re-examine his intentions. Even a good orc can fall prey to ill-conceived notions. We need to bury the past with the king, and look to the future. Outsider, step forward. Your help has been invaluable, and I want you to be a part of this. Please, light the first torch. We ignite these fires to remember Kurog's true goal. Unity for the Orsimer people. Instead, we have clans without chiefs. A city without a king. We will support these people. Guide them. We must look to tomorrow. Outsider. Light the second. Remember the Kurog who was. Strong. Confident. A king who cared about his people. We will carry on that legacy. Offering help, but never forcing it upon anyone. Much to my regret. The clan chiefs have asked me to take on the mantle of King of the Orsimer. To this request, I have cautiously agreed. We cannot be seen as weak and leaderless to the rest of the world. I shall uphold Kurog's dream, but I will avoid his ambition. We shall stand together as the new Orsinium. Say your farewells, then return to the keep. We must put this darkness behind us and celebrate a new day.
Orcs and their kings. They're almost as bad as the Bretons and High Elves.
Work is never done.
I'm glad you're here.
I could use
How
a break.
long has it been?
Too long, that's for sure. But we can't all be shield wife to a king.
I'd be honored.
As long as it's not
King
here.
Bazrag, your
Wherever the
majesty.
hell it takes me.
What a welcome surprise. Thank you, King Bazrag.
courage and resilience in the face of adversity do you honor, my friend. If not for you, the clan chiefs and I wouldn't be standing here. And I certainly wouldn't be king. So this is all your fault, isn't it? I haven't been king long enough to form an opinion. I hope the crown isn't as heavy as Kurog made it look. You have a place here with the people of Orsinium, but as much as I'd like you to stay, I know there are others out there who need your help. Stay as long as you want, but as king, I declare that your service to Orsinium has come to an end. If anyone else in Hrothgar still needs your help, then by all means you should provide it. I need to continue to meet with the clan chiefs and reach out to other influential orcs in the city. We have a government to forge and alliances to foster. There's a lot of work, but I think I finally understand what Kurog was trying to do. And you. Take this. It belonged to Kurog, but you earned it. I hope I can do as much for my people as you did for Orsinium. I will do my best to live up to the faith that you and the clan chiefs have seen in me. Your name will never be forgotten by the Orsimer. We will talk of your deeds for generations to come. Now, we'll find a way for the clans to work together, to fulfill Kurog's original dream of united and strong people. Orsinium, there's enough of the fanatics left to be a pain in my side. But we have ways of separating the bad from the good. It might take a while, but we'll put an end to the Vashrock before too long. Never wanted to be a king. Still don't, really. But this is the best way to keep the clans from fighting or starving to death once winter sets in. I'll wear the crown for as long as I have to. Set my people on the right path. Orcs usually burn the bodies of chiefs and heroes, mix the ashes into swords and shields. But for Kurog, I think I'll have the seat of the throne recast. That way he'll always be a pain in my arse. Help remind me what I should and shouldn't do. Orcs have no concept of goodbye. We just come and go as we please. But you're always welcome in Orsinium, my friend. I'll be here cleaning up the mess. Good. I knew you would. I wish you safe travels. I'll try not to get too jealous while
I know I have you to thank that I lived to see this moment. Everly filled me in on some of the trials you underwent when investigating the Voshrak base. There were tough decisions to be made, yet here we stand, alive and well. King Bazrag informed me that he plans to return the temple to its original purpose, as a shrine to Malakath. I'm not sure what that means for the Trinomac priesthood, but he has requested that I serve as a royal advisor. Upset? No. Disappointed? Most definitely. I can't dispute the fact that Trinomac fanatics caused so much trouble. If returning the city to Malakath makes up for that, who am I to argue? I'm a priest of Trinomac, and I always will be, whether we have a temple of our own or not. These people, they've become my family. I'll stay and help the new king for